crimes. Well, confirmation today that the most common crime that you face in South Africa is in fact housebreakings. That's according to the latest Statistics South Africa Victims of Crime report being released today by the Statistician-General Risenga Maluleke. The survey goes beyond just the numbers to try and capture the lived experiences of victims of crime, from housebreakings and robberies to assaults and theft, while also looking at how we understand, perceive crime and our safety and the criminal justice system. Newzroom Afrika's Veronica Makhoali joins us now live. Veronica, good afternoon to you. These are always very important numbers. So much information comes out of these briefings. What has the Statistician-General said?
Yeah, well, Stephen, as you've mentioned, housebreaking continues to be the most common crime that has affected at least over 1.1 million South Africans. Yet, in the same breath, it remains one of the crimes least reported to authorities. And when asked why, it's understood that people have told Stats SA that sometimes they believe police won't do anything about it, couldn't do anything about it, and often they say that they will just resolve the matter themselves. But what also stood out, Stephen, from this year's survey was really what the Statistician-General said in the very beginning of the briefing, that the survey aims to complement essentially the quarterly crime statistics that we see. And we saw this quite prevalent in regards to individual crimes, where we saw issues of, theft of personal property, as well as assault, painting that very grim picture that shows the reality of women in South Africa. The survey revealing that it is often women who are assaulted by intimate partners. But it's about more than the numbers. It's also about the perception of safety. And I am joined by the Statistician-General just to talk to us a little bit about what stood out essentially from the survey, specifically around the perception of safety. What are we getting from South Africans in regards to how they feel in this country when it comes to crime?
Veronica, what we're picking up is that in terms of safety, in the last year, we have seen that people tended to feel safer walking during the day than they did in the previous year. So in terms of feeling safe, it's much better. Even during the night, it shows that people are feeling safer. During the day, it's sitting at 81%, but at night, it's sitting at about 37%. Now, when you come to a breakdown of gender, you can see that women are not feeling as much safe walking in their neighborhood, particularly at night, than men. And furthermore, when you look at within households or individuals where they are supposed to be safe, so at individual level, because we measure experiences of crime at household as well as at individual level, 47.3% of women indicated that in terms of assault, the perpetrator was an intimate partner or a spouse. And indeed, when you look at issues of a friend beyond an intimate partner, when you look at a friend or someone who's an acquaintance, that shoots up to about 60%. So women are not as safe in environments where they should be protected. Whereas when you look at men, they indicated that they were the perpetrators of assaults were usually someone they do not know. So, and these are people who step out, going out drinking with friends or walking late at night, and they are accosted by criminals who they do not know.
And let's talk a little bit about how communities are responding to crime. We know that it varies from different communities. We know that others have taken measures to prevent, criminality, or at least in the best way that they can, while others have not. Talk to us about what it looks like, perhaps on a provincial level, and what communities, and we know that this will differ in regards to the various areas as well.
Let us start by saying that the data does show that Limpopo is the most safest province, where people can safely walk at night. About 97% of people can walk in their neighborhood. And of course, in almost all crimes, we can see that Limpopo is the safest. generally rural provinces tend to show that they are safe. Whereas when it comes to assault, we see a province like the Northern Cape leading. And of course, when you come to housebreaking and the like, you can see, and that's at household level, that urban provinces like your Gauteng and your Western Cape do show a little bit higher shares or proportions. But now, when we come to look further in terms of how people deal with crime when it occurs, some of them, about 29%, decided to go and report to the police. But those who said they didn't report, the main reason is that they say that the police will do nothing because the victims do not have enough proof. But also, you do have those that say they will resolve it themselves. And of course, resolving it themselves doesn't mean that they want to go after the criminals. They will always go to a neighbor, and if the perpetrator is known, they will always bring them to sit down and have discussions and make sure that such incidents do not occur again.
And just the very last one, now that we've gotten this latest survey, what do we expect policymakers or police to do with the latest figures, at least on the side of understanding the realities on the ground for South Africans when it comes to crime?
Firstly, let me say, Veronica, that we know that the South African Police Services collects their data from administrative records. That is data that is reported to them. So they won't know if people haven't gone to report. For example, we know murder is the most reported crime in South Africa, followed by sexual offense. But housebreaking, while we have more incidents of that, it's the least reported crime. You will know that the police release the crime statistics every quarter, as well as the annual computations of that. So we release this report once in a while. So these two reports, the one that comes from police as well as from Stats SA, do complement each other. That is why you will not expect the data to be exactly the same, because if crimes are not reported, the police will never know, and we will only know from households. But then in terms of policymakers and those who respond to dealing with crime, these reports are available to members of the public in as much as they are available to policymakers as well as the police. And of course, beyond that, we do engage with government. Government is our biggest user of the data that we produce at Stats SA. In terms of how they go about dealing with response to crime, it's beyond our work. Our job ends with making sure that the data is available, but not only to government or captains of industry, to researchers as well as to members of the public. One of the most interesting things is that all products of Stats SA are not discussed with policymakers, be it parliament or cabinet first. They are released equally to members of the public in as much as policymakers receive them at the same time. And we rely on media houses like yourselves to make sure that they reach out to members of the public.
Well, thank you very much for your time. Stephen, there, just a reflection and essentially a wrap from the Statistician-General about what we can expect from the victims of crime reported this year. And you're hearing they're just really painting a picture of the realities on the ground for South Africans who often don't go to police stations to report these crimes, but very much still impacted and affected by this. Back to you.